Have you ever looked into his eyes and felt that pull, a magnetic force you can't explain, but still found yourself wondering, what is he really feeling? Why does he sometimes come close only to pull away again? If you've been caught in the confusion of chasing signs, questioning his desire, or struggling to understand the emotional highs and lows of your twin flame connection, you're not alone. One of the most common and frustrating experiences on this journey is not knowing what drives him, what he truly wants, why he hides, and what his desire means on a soul level. The ache of not knowing can keep you trapped in cycles of doubt, heartbreak, and longing. In today's video, we're going to uncover the hidden truth behind male desire in a twin flame connection. But this isn't just about attraction or longing, it's about something much deeper. We'll explore how his desire is shaped by emotional vulnerability, spiritual resistance, unhealed wounds, and the soul's call for growth. You'll learn how masculine energy often conceals its deepest truths, and why understanding these hidden layers can reveal what he truly feels but hasn't yet said. This insight will help you see the full picture behind his actions and silence. By the end of this video, your entire perspective on your twin flame's desire could shift. Instead of feeling confused, hurt, or stuck in the dark, you'll begin to see his behavior through the lens of higher truth and divine timing. You'll gain clarity, empowerment, and a deeper sense of peace with where you are right now. This knowledge won't just help you understand him, it will help you heal, align, and rise into the version of yourself that magnetizes truth, love, and reunion. So if you're ready to stop chasing and start understanding, stay with us until the very end, because the discovery you make today could change everything. Number 1. What truly drives male desire in twin flames? In the sacred bond of a twin flame connection, male desire goes far beyond the surface level of physical attraction. It is not simply about chemistry or romance. Rather, it is a profound inner force shaped by emotional longing, spiritual awakening, and unconscious soul recognition. This desire emerges from a deep sense of destiny, as if he's been pulled toward this connection by something greater than himself. It's not lust. It's a call to transformation, a magnetic urge to come home to a version of himself he's never fully met. When a man encounters his twin flame, the connection stirs something ancient and buried within him. It activates parts of his soul that have been dormant for years, emotions he's suppressed, truths he's hidden, and vulnerabilities he's never allowed to surface. This awakening can be both exhilarating and overwhelming. While physical attraction may initially draw him in, it is the spiritual resonance that truly captivates him. He may not even understand why he's so drawn to her, but on a soul level, he feels seen, known, and mirrored in ways no one else has ever reflected back to him. What he feels is not just attraction, it is recognition. His twin flame mirrors his wounds, his fears, and the parts of himself he's been avoiding. This mirror is uncomfortable, yet impossible to turn away from. It is in her presence that he begins to confront the emotional baggage he's carried silently for years. The desire he feels becomes inseparable from his yearning for healing. It's a longing not just for her body, but for the emotional safety, spiritual peace, and soul alignment she represents. And yet, this raw vulnerability can trigger deep resistance. Many men have been conditioned to fear emotional exposure, to equate openness with weakness. When confronted with such an intense emotional and spiritual mirror, fear often takes over. He may run, shut down, or retreat into old patterns, not because he doesn't feel the desire, but because the intensity of the connection shakes the very foundation of his identity. But even as he distances himself, the pull remains. That same desire continues to call him back, again and again, until he is ready to face his truth. This push-pull dynamic doesn't weaken the desire, it strengthens it. Each retreat and return brings him closer to emotional maturity, spiritual clarity, and personal transformation. He begins to realize that his desire isn't merely for union with his twin flame, it's for the evolution that this union demands. It's for the man he is becoming in the process. Ultimately, male desire in a twin flame connection is not about possession or fantasy. It is about awakening. It is about growth. And most of all, it is about returning to the truth of who he is, with her, through her, and because of her. Before we move on to explore the deeper layers of this connection, take a moment to reflect on what you've just heard. Does this resonate with your experience or someone you know? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share what part of this message spoke to you the most. Or if you're not sure what to say, simply type, "I feel the soul connection calling me." Your voice matters, and your story may help someone else feel seen and understood. And if this content touches your heart, don't forget to like this video. It helps us reach more souls on their own twin flame journey. Number 2, emotional connection versus physical attraction. The inner conflict of the divine masculine in twin flame love. How do men truly experience the contrast between emotional connection and physical attraction within a twin flame relationship? For many men, the encounter with a twin flame stirs something deep, something ancient and undeniable. It's not just about magnetic physical chemistry, though, that is often immediate, powerful, and consuming. It's the emotional intensity that truly unsettles and awakens him. This connection defies logic. It speaks to his soul, not just his senses. Yet the overwhelming nature of the physical attraction can often eclipse the emotional depth in the beginning, leading to confusion, internal conflict, and a search for clarity. The emotional bond with a twin flame is unlike any relationship he has known before. It's not about shared interests or surface-level compatibility. It is raw, unfiltered soul recognition. It draws him in with an inexplicable pull, stirring up vulnerabilities, buried emotions, and a longing for closeness that goes far beyond physical touch. But despite this, the early stages of the connection often bring forth an overpowering physical desire. The passion feels fated, intense, and irresistible, like gravity pulling him toward her without explanation. In those moments, he may begin to ask himself, is this truly love, or is it just an insatiable desire I can't control? This is where many men stand at the crossroads of awakening. For some, the intensity causes them to run, to retreat into logic or fear. For others, it leads to self-inquiry and spiritual growth. Eventually, as he journeys inward and begins to understand the sacred nature of the bond, the lines between emotional and physical attraction begin to blur. He no longer sees them as separate forces in conflict, but as two aspects of the same divine energy. One feeds the other. Emotional closeness enhances physical passion, and physical intimacy deepens emotional trust. This evolving awareness becomes a catalyst for healing. The emotional and physical currents between twin flames are not random. They are purposeful, guiding him back to wholeness. The union teaches him to integrate the masculine and feminine energies within himself. He learns to hold space for vulnerability, to honor desire without being consumed by it, and to feel safe in emotional depth. But the challenge remains. Can he embrace both sides of the connection? Can he hold the fire of passion and the stillness of soul connection at once? Fear of losing control, fear of unworthiness, or fear of being seen in his most naked emotional truth may cause resistance. But the path of the twin flame is not about escape. It is about transformation. True growth comes when he stops running and starts allowing. When he steps fully into the connection, not just with his body, but with his heart. It is then that the dance between emotional intimacy and physical passion becomes harmonious, sacred, and healing. In that space, he finds not just his twin flame, but his truest self. Number 3, the fear of vulnerability, why he may resist the connection. In the sacred dance of twin flames, one of the most profound yet misunderstood barriers often faced, especially by the divine masculine, is the fear of vulnerability. For many men, allowing themselves to be emotionally exposed, to speak from the heart, and to let someone truly see their unguarded inner world can feel terrifying. This fear doesn't arise from a lack of love or interest. It stems from something deeper, older, and far more ingrained. Why does something so pure and powerful stir up so much fear? At the heart of vulnerability lies the risk of rejection, abandonment, or being judged for who they truly are beneath the surface. From a young age, many men are taught, either directly or indirectly, that emotions must be concealed, that showing pain or softness is a sign of weakness. Strength is defined by control, stoicism, and emotional distance. But the twin flame connection doesn't abide by these old rules. It challenges everything he thought he knew about love, safety, and self-protection. It doesn't want his mask, it wants his truth, and that truth is often wrapped in years of unspoken wounds. When confronted with this intense soul-level bond, it's no surprise that resistance often emerges. It's not because he doesn't care. It's because the connection asks him to revisit his deepest fears, past heartbreaks, and emotional scars, many of which he may have buried or denied. The love between twin flames is not superficial, it is soul-penetrating, and sometimes the raw intensity of that love can be so overwhelming that he instinctively pulls away, not to hurt the feminine counterpart, but to protect himself from emotional drowning. This retreat is not the end, it's part of the process. The twin flame journey is, at its core, a path of spiritual evolution, and spiritual growth demands healing. True healing cannot happen without vulnerability. As he slowly begins to peel back the layers of his armor, he starts to realize that vulnerability isn't a weakness. It is a courageous act of the soul. It is the bridge that allows love to flow freely, deeply, and unconditionally. In time, if he chooses to embrace this path, he will come to understand that the very thing he feared, being truly seen, is the key to the lasting union he has longed for all along. Vulnerability becomes his strength, and in that sacred space of mutual openness, the twin flame connection can finally bloom into its fullest expression. Number 4. Signs that he desires you, but struggles with the intensity. The twin flame connection is a powerful, soul-deep bond that often awakens intense emotions and spiritual transformation. While the love between you may be undeniable, many men struggle to fully embrace the connection, not because they don't feel it, but because its sheer depth can be overwhelming. If you sense that he wants you but keeps pulling away, he may be caught in an inner battle between desire and fear. His soul recognizes you, but his mind isn't sure how to handle the storm of emotions that follow. One of the most common signs is inconsistent communication. He may reach out with warmth and sincerity, only to suddenly pull back without explanation. This push-pull dynamic doesn't mean he's playing games. It often reflects his own confusion and emotional overload. He may want to connect, but the intensity can cause him to retreat just as quickly. You might also notice emotional detachment. He may seem distant, avoid deep conversations, or act as though he's uninterested, even when it's clear that he feels something powerful. This detachment is often a defense mechanism to protect his inner world from being seen too soon, too deeply. Another sign is physical withdrawal. He might create space between you, not because he doesn't care, but because closeness makes him feel too exposed. Physical presence often triggers emotional vulnerability, which he may not be ready to face. There may be moments of confusion or ambivalence where he seems unsure of what he wants. He may question his feelings, overanalyze his actions, or appear emotionally unstable. Deep down, he knows this connection is unlike anything he's experienced. But that knowing can be terrifying when he's not emotionally prepared. Resistance to emotional vulnerability is another major sign. Even though he desires closeness, he may avoid opening up. Letting you in means facing his fears, insecurities, and emotional wounds. And that's not easy for someone who's been conditioned to suppress rather than express. He may also fall into patterns of overthinking and second-guessing, replaying your conversations in his mind, unsure how to interpret or process the powerful emotions that arise when you're together. His heart feels one thing, but his mind tries to make sense of it in a way that creates internal conflict. Ultimately, feeling overwhelmed by the connection is perhaps the most telling sign. The intensity of a twin flame bond can feel all-consuming, triggering both awe and fear. He may not understand why this connection affects him so deeply, but he knows that something within him is changing, and change is never easy. These signs are not indications of a lack of desire. Quite the opposite. They reveal just how deeply he feels, and how much he's struggling to manage the emotional and spiritual weight of the connection. His journey is not about rejecting love. but about learning how to receive it without fear. Number 5. How this energy influences the dynamic of separation and reunion. The twin flame journey is not linear. It moves in waves, marked by powerful phases of separation and reunion, all orchestrated by deep energetic forces that serve a higher purpose: transformation, healing, and ultimately, divine union. These cycles aren't accidents or punishments. They are sacred catalysts for soul growth. The separation phase. Separation, though often painful, is not a failure. It's a sacred pause. The intensity of the twin flame energy can activate deep-rooted fears, insecurities, and unhealed wounds that cause one or both partners to retreat, sometimes emotionally, sometimes physically. This distancing isn't about rejection, it's about protection. In this phase, both individuals are given the space they need to face their shadows, uncover hidden emotional patterns, and begin the journey of healing. It's a time of reflection, inner work, and reclaiming personal power. The reunion phase. As each soul progresses on their healing path, the energy between them begins to shift. When alignment deepens and inner clarity emerges, the pull toward reunion becomes undeniable. The reunion is not just a physical coming back together, it is a spiritual convergence, a soul-level remembrance. It's often filled with joy, profound connection, and emotional release. However, it also requires great vulnerability. Old fears may still rise to the surface, asking to be met with compassion, not resistance. Reunion calls for honesty, presence, and a commitment to continue evolving together. The cyclical nature of the journey. The twin flame path is cyclical by nature. Each round of separation and reunion serves a purpose. Separation offers growth, solitude, and transformation. Reunion offers intimacy, integration, and deeper connection. With every turn of the cycle, both souls rise higher in awareness, clearing old karma and aligning more fully with their higher selves. These cycles refine the bond, burning away illusions until only truth remains. The energy of patience and trust. Patience becomes a spiritual practice in this journey. Trusting in divine timing is essential. The energy of the connection cannot be forced. It flows in accordance with each soul's readiness. When one tries to rush the process, resistance grows. But when we surrender to the rhythm of the journey, we allow the universe to guide the reunion in its perfect time. Trust is the bridge that carries you through uncertainty and back into alignment. The energy of unconditional love. At the core of the twin flame journey lies a love so pure and eternal that it transcends time, space, and distance. This is unconditional love, not based on need or fear, but on soul recognition. Even during the longest separations, this love never fades. It continues to grow in the unseen realms, pulling both individuals back to one another when the time is right. It is this powerful energy that ensures the connection endures, guiding each soul back home to the other. Imagine two individuals, Emma and Leo, who meet and instantly feel a soul-deep recognition. Their connection is magnetic, intense, and impossible to ignore. But as their bond deepens, so do the emotions it stirs. Leo, overwhelmed by the intensity and scared of losing control, begins to pull away. He doesn't understand why he feels so exposed, or why being around Emma brings his buried wounds to the surface. Confused and hurt, Emma also retreats, interpreting his withdrawal as rejection. Months pass in silence. During the separation, Emma begins a journey inward, rediscovering her worth, healing childhood wounds, and learning to trust herself again. Unbeknownst to her, Leo is doing the same, reflecting, awakening, and slowly realizing that his fear was rooted in unhealed pain, not in a lack of love. Then one day, seemingly out of nowhere, life brings them back into each other's path. This time, they recognize the growth in each other's eyes. They speak honestly, hold space for one another's truth, and allow the love between them to flow without fear. Their reunion is not just about being together. It's about being whole. This example mirrors what many twin flames experience: a cycle of separation not to punish, but to prepare. A reunion not just for romance, but for spiritual evolution. The journey is written in energy, And when both souls are ready, the connection returns, stronger, deeper, and more aligned than ever before. Number 6. The role of feminine energy in awakening and balancing his desire. In the sacred dance of the twin flame journey, feminine energy holds a profound and transformative role in awakening and harmonizing the masculine's desire. But this awakening goes far beyond physical attraction. It's a call to the soul. Feminine energy, when expressed in its highest form, becomes a radiant force that touches the deepest layers of the masculine heart, stirring within him a longing not just for her presence, but for truth, emotional intimacy, and spiritual union. When the feminine stands rooted in her authenticity, unapologetically herself, open, receptive, and intuitive, she becomes magnetic. Her energy doesn't chase, it invites. She doesn't demand, she holds space. Her nurturing essence becomes a sanctuary for the masculine, offering him a safe and sacred environment to explore the emotional depths he may have long resisted. Her softness isn't weakness, it's the key that unlocks his guarded heart. Her vulnerability doesn't make her fragile, it makes her irresistible. In her presence, he begins to feel safe enough to be seen, to be real, and to be vulnerable. More than just igniting passion, feminine energy plays the essential role of balancing that passion. While the masculine may experience desire in powerful, sometimes overwhelming waves, it is the feminine's grounded, centered energy that helps him regulate, integrate, and channel those feelings in a healthy, constructive way. Her emotional intelligence becomes the stabilizing force that softens his intensity without dimming it. Through her embodiment of both light and shadow, her wholeness, she becomes a mirror to his own inner world, reflecting not only his hidden wounds, but also the parts of himself he's yet to embrace. She teaches him the beauty of emotional courage, showing him that true strength lies in vulnerability. She teaches him that desire is not just a hunger for touch, but a sacred yearning to be fully known and deeply connected. And most importantly, she loves him without conditions. Her unconditional love becomes the medicine his soul has been seeking, the love that doesn't judge, doesn't rush, and doesn't fix, but simply holds. In this sacred holding, his walls begin to fall. Ultimately, the feminine energy doesn't just awaken his desire, it transforms it. She guides him from carnal longing to conscious connection, from fleeting passion to eternal bond. Through her presence, he learns that real desire is not about possession, but about union. And in that sacred realization, their energies merge, no longer in pursuit, but in harmony, creating a love that is both magnetic and divine. Understanding male desire within the twin flame journey reveals a sacred truth. This connection is not just about physical attraction, but about the soul's yearning for wholeness. It is a journey that peels back layers of ego, trauma, and fear, exposing the raw vulnerability required for genuine transformation. Every phase, be it separation or reunion, longing or silence, serves as a divine invitation to heal, grow, and evolve. The divine feminine plays a profound role in this alchemical process. She is not only the mirror reflecting his hidden wounds, but the healer who holds space for his awakening. Her energy encourages the masculine to rise, not by force, but by grace, not by pressure, but by presence. And in doing so, she too steps into her highest embodiment. When both counterparts begin to embrace the emotional, spiritual, and physical aspects of this bond, something powerful unfolds. They begin to move beyond illusion, beyond fear, and into a space of divine union, a union not defined by external validation, but by inner alignment. So ask yourself, are you ready to stand in your truth, to lead with your light, and to guide your connection from a place of unconditional love and unwavering strength? If this message resonates with you, we invite you to share your heart in the comments by writing, "True desire is the path to awakening." Let us know what part of this journey speaks to you most deeply. And if you found value in this video, please don't forget to like, share it with someone who may need to hear it, and subscribe to the channel for more soul-aligned guidance. Be sure to watch the next video appearing on your screen, It continues this powerful exploration of the twin flame path and may hold the answers your heart has been seeking. Your journey matters, your light is needed, and your love is transformational.